Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Hot Topix Podcast. I'm your host, Psycho 4081, and I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Lady Lamb Chop and the notorious Felonious Feather. Let's get it started. Welcome everyone to another episode of Hot Topix. We have Lamb Chop here.
Hi everybody.
After a brief
absence.
Disappearance.
I didn't disappear. You knew where I was.
Yes, we knew where she was. She was locked up.
You know.
In Vegas.
I told y'all it was going to happen. Y'all ain't believe me.
So, Felonious is going to join us a little bit later.
Good.
So she's taking care of some business. I think she was running from ICE.
I cannot with you.
So we're going to have a switch of topics. We're going to talk about our question of the day, which was, what's the most you ever done to get your ex back? She had some funny stories about that, so I'll wait for her to come with that. But we're going to start off with our trending news. And I hope I don't get people too riled up on this one, but
oh boy.
Well, how are you doing today?
We're good. We're better. We're okay.
So,
what happened to our ticker tape of trending news?
Oh yeah, let me see.
Our top story today is.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to talk about just some things that have been happening over the last couple weeks. Because last week we talked about, or actually we didn't talk about anything. We discussed with some secret sex interviews.
Yeah.
I think it was missing for that.
I'm not really sure how secret they were after I listened to it.
Yeah. So what was supposed to happen, we're supposed to do a series of episodes for our supporters only. It's basically $5 a month, recurring thing. And
our Patreons.
Yes. So I said, well, let's let everybody hear them, and then see if they have any interest in it first. So we have a series of secret sex interviews. And we just happened to start off with some ladies in Kenya.
Yeah.
So go check those out. We'll talk about those because right now we're working on PG right now.
Yeah.
So
it was not PG, so here's a warning. Don't listen to it with your children around or anyone you would be embarrassed by. So they weren't embarrassed, and that's okay. That's okay. It's good to not be embarrassed about what you do, but I'm just saying you might not want grandmama sitting next to you while you listening to that one, unless it's in your earbuds. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that one was a doozy.
Mm-hmm. Please check it out.
But we look forward to having a series of those episodes. So I don't know if we're going to continue with the ladies of Kenya, but I know we have a couple more that want to jump on there and tell their story, and then we'll try to get some people over here. So that's the thing, the secret sex interview. And I spoke to another friend of mine who was talking about taboo, not taboo sex. That sounds like porno. But was when you're not supposed to have sex with a certain person or a certain place or whatever. What do you call that? It was called not prohibited.
I don't know.
Well, you guys get the idea. Basically,
secret sex. I don't know what you would call that. There's a name.
We're off limits when you have off limits. Like, so,
okay, what's off limits?
Yeah,
like I won't have sex in the car. I won't have sex at the church. I won't have, or you will,
or with certain people.
Oh,
off
okay,
limits,
okay.
So I
gotcha.
I always say taboo, but I forgot what it's called just off the top of my head. But we're going to talk about that later on during our secret sex interview. So
got it.
Fun. But to start off, if you guys haven't noticed, they have rioting. I don't want to say rioting. They were creating a disorderly in the UK.
Okay.
So apparently
about
immigrants. Yeah, we're back to that. So
immigrants coming into the UK?
Immigrants that are there. Oh. So basically what they were doing is they were going through certain neighborhoods and certain city areas and at the intersections and stopping cars to see who don't belong there. Yes.
Who was doing that? Citizens or?
It was citizens, far right group.
Wow.
So, yes, they were checking to make sure that you were white. Yeah, 2024 UK. So.
Well, you can be white and be an illegal
right.
citizen.
Well, I guess if you had to be, I don't know if they were checking if he was British white. I don't know how they're going to figure that one out, but they were doing that, and they also went through certain neighborhoods and were kicking in doors, yeah, throwing bricks into people's windows. They were.
This is insane.
It was a black barbershop. They were actually throwing stuff, busting the window, and I think they was trying to kick it in to have them come outside. You know, do that like Clockwork Orange.
Right, like old Klan.
Yes. So
antics.
That went on in a few places in the UK, and it just recently was quelled. Somebody in the government finally stepped in and started threatening them with, I think, like 10 or 20 years in prison, and they started breaking up.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. I can't imagine the British jail being that bad where they was like 10, 20 years in prison. So let me go home. So, yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you that they are cowardice at heart. If you believe and you're strong in your conviction, you would sit on that jail time. But
in this particular one, it says demonstrators. I guess they call them demonstrators. They attacked the police and they targeted hotels as the riots continued. Whatever. That was from August 5th, but I think since then it had been quelled. But it's just that it was the anti-immigration or immigrant sentiment was really sweeping through a lot of places, even here in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, you know why that is.
Yeah. It's people being manipulated. It's always been that same thing as the wealthy people or the privileged people manipulating the working class and the poor and think somebody else is getting over on their dime.
Right. And if they convince them that this one over here is horrible and bad, it's easier for you to treat people differently. That's...
And keep the eye off of them, but they're doing
Exactly. Look over there. That's the tactic. That's very sad, though. It's very sad. I saw a meme not too long ago that said, "We're all immigrants. You are either enslaved, native, or pilgrim." So everybody came. No, not the native. Like everybody is an immigrant except natives in the United States. So you were either enslaved or came as a pilgrim. So, all of these people saying, "This is my land." Yeah, your ancestors came from somewhere.
Exactly. You posted something earlier and I said I was going to steal.
Oh, yeah. It was when a clown... when a clown comes into the palace, moves into the palace, I gotta look at it.
It doesn't make him a king. It just
makes the palace a circus.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we have.
Yes.
That's exactly what we have. And it's sad but true.
Yeah, I definitely.
It is sad but true.
And speaking of privileged people, and I think if you guys haven't noticed that the Supreme Court has been under a lot of fire recently from ethics things, and Biden had submitted a bill to be presented to Congress to basically curb the Supreme Court.
Yes, and start looking into some of the things that they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things he wanted to do was, which we know is not going to go anywhere, but he was trying to have a constitutional amendment where the Supreme Court has terms.
I think it should.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it should.
Yeah. And it's so funny because when you look at the Constitution, a lot of things weren't specifically said, so they inferred that since we didn't put it in there, that means they get lifetime appointments.
Right.
And I think they just missed the mark on certain things.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. I really don't. And I think what happens is, things change, and if you're growing and developing as a person, your ideals can change too. So come on, y'all. Like, you 110.
Well,
back in my day.
The thing that irritates me about the Supreme Court, it's not really the Supreme Court itself, but it was when Obama was in office. office, and they refused.
Yes.
You know, and then it's just that thing right there.
The hypocrisy.
Yes, yes. That's gonna be my word for 2024, and we can talk about that too.
Yeah, because they rushed Trump, like they let him put that, and he shouldn't have. Yeah, and he shouldn't have. So yeah, if we're gonna go by the same things, you shouldn't have. So
and it was so blatant, and that, you know, even the guy Mitch McConnell, you know, nobody's saying anything about how he's in mental decline and how he's been there for so long. He's been a cancer in the Congress for a long time.
Yes.
And this is not me speaking as a Democrat or a liberal or a moderate or conservative. It's me speaking as a person. Any person who's sane can see. You know, if you said we're going to do this because this is the rule and it's not fair, then you turn around not even a year later, and do it twice.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
But then there's old Clarence Thomas. Yeah. So the Supreme Court's Clarence Thomas took more undisclosed travel funded by a billionaire. So they're really going to start looking into the Supreme Court justices and try to install an ethics rule where it can be enforced not by them. Right now.
Right, nothing can be enforced. Right, exactly.
By them.
Right.
So
you know
that's long overdue.
And I guess in my head I'm thinking that if you've made it all the way to the Supreme Court, there should be some set of ethics in there. You know what I'm saying?
It is. The funny thing about it is the way.
I mean, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, personally.
But even through all the judges.
Right.
All the federal court judges, whatever, have a code of ethics they have to follow. Why is the Supreme Court, the top court, exempt? Right. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
But I hope they get that done, and you know, some of you politicians, I don't care if you're on the left or right, need to pull that grape out your butt.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that visual.
Yeah, I've been kind of pissed off, but not really pissed off. I'm disappointed.
Okay.
You know, I would say that. Then we did talk about the death threat.
Yes.
Okay, so
for Harris. Yeah, and you know that she's going to get them.
Yeah, you know I saw the guy. He looks like a Looney Tune for real.
Stop saying that.
No, seriously, he does. He looks like somebody from the Muppets.
Oh, jeez. Please don't disparage the Muppets.
No, I like the Muppets. Like
that's what I'm saying. I like
thing.
Which I'm slowly feeling like I'm becoming one of them.
But yeah, that's what the guy looked like without his hair done. So speaking of another thing of how this world is coming apart, organizers, this is in Vienna, canceled the Taylor Swift concerts over fears of attack.
Yeah.
Now, the odd thing about that, there's this, I guess, the cells, terror cells over there, and they're mainly young people, 20 and under.
Really?
Teens, yes. And I believe this one, it had people that was 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's, you know.
Scary.
Yeah,
that is scary.
So there was a focus on a 19-year-old perpetrator, 19. His pledged an oath of allegiance to the Islamic State group. So 19, and I think some of his buddies were under there. So I think the oldest, I think, was 19.
Wow.
So that's
a little bit scary. That's a lot scary, actually.
And don't think because we're here in the U.S. we're exempt from that too. So
clearly not. Let's say 9/11. Clearly not. Yeah.
I don't know how close to this about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get that.
Yeah, we're not talking about no Pittsburgh Steelers. While he's scrolling for news, our beloved Phil Donahue died. What was it, Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday, okay. He was 88.
Yeah.
And it didn't give a reason. It just said due to a long-term illness.
Because he was old. I think after a certain age, it really doesn't matter what is you old.
You know, but
85 and above is natural causes, regardless of what it is.
That's probably true.
If you get hit by a truck or anything like that, anything that somebody else didn't cause is natural causes.
That's true. At that age. But he had a long-term illness. What I didn't know about, I guess he would be the king of talk shows. He really put that kind of format out there for us. But I didn't know that he started it in 1967.
Did he?
Yes. See, I told you I knew a little tidbit that you didn't know. In Ohio.
So who was... You remember Merv Griffin?
I do.
Who was first?
Merv Griffin was definitely first, but I thought his was more of a variety show with celebrities.
Okay.
Phil Donahue had more trending latest topics and what's happening in the world.
Okay.
So his was more like that. Merv Griffin was pretty much more like what the next star is doing, who's a new person coming up. Okay. So then after him was Johnny Carson, and then all of those other people came after that, I think.
So they were the night ones.
Yeah, they were the nighttime people.
The daytime was I'm trying to remember who else was there back in the day. See, I was a young kid with Merv Griffin. Then it was Phil Donahue, and I don't know if you remember Morton Downey Jr.
Oh, absolutely, but I wouldn't even put him in the same sentence with Phil Donahue. Him and Springer and all of those kind of ran together. Yeah. But yeah, he launched his show in 1967 in Ohio and then moved to Chicago in 74. And I forgot to write down how long it ran, but he had a good run. He had a good run. 80s. It was definitely into the 80s. It was definitely into the 80s. Had a lot of good topics, a lot of controversial topics,
I'm just saying, what really sticks out to me was when he had Louis Farrakhan on that show, and it was actually what brought it out, and I thought this was the big thing. Minister Farrakhan was very cordial.
Yes.
And he had him on a couple times.
Yes.
Yes. But he was always cordial. Mm-hmm. He smiled, and he
and stated facts.
Yes. And regardless of what anybody says,
right?
How hotly they said it, whatever, he always came back with it. And I thought about in Phil Donahue, same thing. He always played the middle.
Yeah.
But he would ask certain questions.
Yeah.
Saying,
he would dig in a couple of, he would be the devil's advocate occasionally and dig in.
Perfect word.
And I mean, he had a lot of controversial topics. He had a lot of gay rights stuff on. I remember one about disco. So he had a lot of stuff. Disco. Oh, God, I'm old. So yeah, he had a lot of good topics and was really the king of how daytime shows ran. And then there was Sally Jesse and Oprah and Ricky Lake for a minute. It was a lot of daytime shows like that. And I think they've just evolved.
Yeah, I think we had a time period where they just was throwing people
everybody.
Right.
Yeah, everybody had a talk show. Yeah, yep. Everybody had a talk show for a minute. Yeah. Oh, Montel. We can't leave Montel out. Yeah, definitely can't leave him out of the rotation. So, yeah, there was a lot of people out there. And now it's more like The View and what's the other one? I wasn't a big fan. The Talk. So it's a group of people together talking.
So today on an unrelated, post, I think it was a science post or whatever, they talk about science. Somebody put something up there about they were going to eliminate or not renew the contract of Whoopi and what's the other lady's name?
Joy Bear?
No, she has a reddish hair.
Joy Bear.
Is that
on the View?
Yeah, on the View.
Yeah, she's got like reddish curly hair and big glasses.
No, she didn't have glasses. Who ordered? You know the four people?
I don't. I know Whoopi and Joy.
Okay. Well, two of them they would want to, they're gonna not renew, and everybody was. Some people was like, "Oh my God, that's long overdue," this and then one guy said, "Oh really? Okay, and
right.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of that show. I used to be in the beginning when Barbara Walters was on there.
Kelly. Is Kelly on the Osborne lady?
No, she was on the other one, The Talk. I preferred The Talk over The View, but The Talk has fell apart too.
Okay. Where's Hasselbeck?
She was on the original View. Okay. Elizabeth. Yep, she was on the original View.
Yeah, so apparently two of them were considered troublemakers, and they wanted to get rid of them. So that's.
If they're talking about Whoopi and Joy, those two lean towards Democratic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what I did hear is that Elon Musk bought The View. We talking about The View?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I heard. This is before that.
Okay.
So if that's the case, like I said, I don't watch it.
Right.
I could see them doing that because he is
very Trumpish.
Yeah,
he's a Trumper.
Butthole. Yes.
His words, not the whole view of the Hot Topix cast.
I do love that the Tesla wall battery because the electricity went out. But I had power. Outside of that wall battery, you're a butthole. Okay, so
yeah.
He is. And I should have gotten something on that interview he did with Trump. And people were pissed off about that because they were laughing about people who were that they just fired. Like they it was all good and fine that they can go into a company, take it over, and just fire thousands of people.
That's what a corporate takeover is.
Yeah, he thought it was funny. You know,
well,
Trump
it's not
did.
funny. Well, because he don't have to worry about where his next meal coming from. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck, so that's why he thought it was funny. What the? Okay. Okay, I have to read this. Ex-co-worker jailed for raping, stabbing woman in Dunkin' Donuts freezer?
Yes.
Holy cow. Where was this? Baltimore County?
Oh, was that Baltimore County?
Baltimore County prosecutor said he...
Oh, okay.
Okay. Guilty of 21 counts, including first-degree rape and robbery. Did she survive?
So, the ironic part was that... Okay, so it was two of them. They went there to rob the Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
They put the girl who was there working by herself into the freezer, and then one guy, while he was in there, he, did what he did, and whatever. But they were ex-employees, so they knew
where to go, what to do, where everything was,
and they knew the times that she was working by herself.
Right.
So, yeah, I hope they get the death penalty.
For those crimes, Ishmael Sharif will spend 75 years behind bars. Baltimore County prosecutor said he preyed on a former co-worker at Dunkin' Donuts on East 33rd Street. Oh, so this happened a while ago. Right? Yeah, that's a city. Oh, at Baltimore City. I'm sorry. Okay. In my head, I see Baltimore County. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, this happened in October 14th. It happened October 14th, 2022, and they're just sentencing him.
Okay, yeah, I can see it dropping.
Yeah, they just sentenced her. Both jumped over the front counter, attacked a female employee who happened to be there by herself. Jeez. I hope this poor woman is getting some help.
Yeah. That's,
they got $500.
Yes.
For $500. You have 3 lives are ruined.
And they had to know. So they had to know because like a lot of those places, they empty the money into a box.
Right.
And if you're doing it, and I don't know what time of day that was, I'm assuming it was night.
Yeah.
Late. They don't get as many customers.
Right.
So you're not going to have money on hand.
And a lot of times people are using cards.
Right.
People don't carry cash anymore. That was absolutely horrible. And 75 years might not be long enough.
And you're a former employee, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
horrible.
Yeah, I had to bring that one out because I was just going through things and I was like, this. I always think sometimes I say, we need a flood.
Some comedian was just like, God needs to come in and sweep through and, just sort out all the idiots and leave everybody else.
Yes, that's.
Well, the hard part about that is there are people who think you're an idiot and you think other people are idiots. So how do you choose who's the idiot and who's not the idiot?
Well, I'm an idiot, but you're more of an idiot.
Boys and girls, that is not a Webster dictionary word.
You're more idiot than me.
Oh, please don't get any English lessons off of this show. I saw this one transgender woman gunned down in West Baltimore. That was very sad.
Yes, and I'm wondering if it's something to like maybe that she didn't tell the person or something along those lines.
You don't deserve to get shot.
Some people. I'm not justifying anything about the violence, whatever. But I'm just saying. I remember back in '88 when I was in San Diego, they had think they had like this transgender woman out the window, hung her out the window.
Oh my God!
Because she tricked them into whatever, and
oh my God!
Yeah. I don't think it was a murder, but it was still something that stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Back in '88. Yeah, but I can see some people would actually look at that as feeling like they've been raped.
Okay.
Because they didn't volunteer.
I want to see the whole story.
Anyways, whole story. They didn't
agree
to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
they shot her 5 times.
Yeah.
Covered in a blanket and put in a ditch.
That seems more personal. That doesn't seem like it's like, oh, I see somebody.
Yeah, this is probably somebody she knew.
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. So I'm not someone who promotes violence.
Yeah.
But sometimes, unless we're in that situation, you don't know what you would do. And I thought about that too.
True.
I thought about it. I was like, oh, this is what happened today. On Instagram, I was scrolling and the thing was coming through, and they had this lady who was, everybody wants to twerk, whatever. So as she was bending down on the bed, I don't know if I sent that to you, but
oh please God no.
As putting her butt in there, whatever. Then right, you get to that, the package. I was like, are those balls?
I can't with you.
I was like, wait a minute. And then it was like, I'm like, why is this coming up on my feed? I feel targeted.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I can, for me thinking about that, like, I'm saying, oh, you gonna see this girl, she's gonna do blah blah blah, and they slip something like that in there. If I felt some type of way about that, I could imagine if somebody got in that situation where they thought
they were actually going to have sex.
Yes, or participated to a certain point.
Right.
Or found out even afterwards.
Yeah.
I can see people going off the deep end. Not saying it's right, but I can see people doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's sad, but the article said that in the past 5 years, 28 transgender women have been killed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's very sad.
And let me tell you this. So people, this is the argument. Sometimes they say, well, oh, they want this transgender agenda, this and that, whatever. Especially when they talk about politics.
Right.
Like, listen, stop talking about stuff you don't know.
Right.
Right. It ain't about because you don't like somebody going to a bathroom.
Right.
And I thought about that too. I'm like, all right, so any man can dress up like a woman and go into a girl's bathroom.
Right. Right now.
Right
today.
Now, anytime.
Right.
So, and I think they get that stuck in their head, and it's like, oh, anything that has to do with transgender, they never think about the full scope of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I said that to somebody today on social media. I'm a troll.
I'm glad you admit it.
Yeah, like education is the key.
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about a divide. Somebody put up this thing that said, they put some black ants in the jar and then put some red ants on top of them in this big jar, and nothing happened, right? Until they shook the jar. Then they just started fighting each other and killing each other. Right. He says we need to come together
and stop shaking the jar.
Stop shaking the jar. But I'm like, well, they said don't look at the stuff. Don't focus on the stuff that divides us. Focus on the stuff that we have in common.
Right.
And I was like, well, if you don't focus on stuff that divides us, how you know
what you have in common?
Exactly. You have to know why we have the divide.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
It is what it is.
I don't know. I just think it's very sad that people just want to live their lives their certain way and other people don't want to let them. And it's like, you just don't have the right to tell me how I should live my life, especially if I'm not harming you in any kind of way.
And and I'm just saying, like, sometimes people just love to be ignorant.
Yes. Agreed.
Like,
agreed.
And we're going to get into this thing.
I agree.
And
and then there are just some people out there who say stuff just to get that feedback.
Right.
To get people all upset and acting crazy. And so yeah, I told you me and my cousin wasn't speaking to each other because we got into this thing on Facebook about people being gay. Oh. And she was just like, they just choose to be gay. And I'm like, you know better than that. You know better. Stop it. I know that you know better than that. There are people in our family that are gay. I know you know better than that. What are you talking about? So, I gave her the whole rundown about, let people live their lives. It doesn't concern you, blah, blah, blah. And, time went on, and I went to comment on something on her page, and she said, oh, we speaking to each other now? And I was like, I was not speaking to you. I don't get it. Well, yeah, that could have happened, too. I was like, I don't get it, but...
You know what actually got me thinking about the gay choice thing? And it was something that I sat and thought about. I was like, looking back, it is no way possible that somebody would choose to be that way, come on, back then, and go through all that.
Well, even the stuff they go through now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was worse back then.
Right, because they were hiding. They had to hide.
Exactly.
People couldn't
who
find
would
out.
choose to do that?
Right.
So that's what got me like, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to choose it. It just it's not making sense. But
yeah.
We have to have the show that. We got to have somebody within the community.
Okay. I can think of somebody in the community that we can call upon.
So we're going to break here for off the trending news, and I'm going to tell you about the situation.
Oh boy, I'm kind of scared.
It's not bad, but it was just, we're talking more about hypocrisy.
Okay.
All right. And for those who don't know, I spent 28 years.
28
years.
Wow.
With the police department. Local police department somewhere.
In the United States?
Yes.
On the East Coast.
And before that, I did 8 years in the military.
Okay.
So I'm used to being around people from different walks of life, different thought process.
Right.
Not a big deal. You're not always going to agree.
Right.
Whatever. So the problem I have with the police department, and not with the police department, but some of the personnel in the police department, is hypocrisy. And I know that I've had many situations where I've heard police officers say certain things about suspects or defendants. Oh, they're guilty, and and this and that, the whole nine. You know how
right.
You can imagine, right? Now, here in 2024, we have a Facebook. It's for retired police officers and current police officers, right?
Okay.
Let's discuss about whatever. And I usually don't participate, but I used to be really in it, like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And I was looked at as a troublemaker. Right? And it was some friends in there. Like I know on social media, certain friends, I'll do certain things just so I can get a response, and they know it because we talk about it. So there's no hostility. We're friendly and everything. I still like to get a response from it.
Oh my gosh.
So when I see something posted that's questionable, and I say questionable, whether it be homophobic, whether it be against certain
sexist, racist,
the whole nine, I'm going to comment on it. Okay. Now I do love a good joke about women. So but it's all good. A lot of people are married, and that's we can do that. That's not a big deal. But when I see certain things, when they pick out a particular race, and they repeat stuff that they hear in the media, okay, I'm going to call it.
Okay.
And I will do it. And people don't like that I'm the dissenter. So over the past few years, I was called a troublemaker because when I see people post questionable posts or comment in a certain way,
right,
I can't let it go.
Right.
And I don't have any problems. Like I said, I'm if you post something online and I think it's questionable and I don't like what you said and I see you, I'm going to treat you the same. Hi, it's not a big deal. It's social media, we discuss things. And apparently in this group, which is majority white, they have a problem with me calling out things that I feel is racist.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell them I'll use the word I don't say racist. I say questionable material. Right. So all of a sudden, their thing is like, oh, you always bring out the race card.
Right.
You always bring out the race card.
Right.
So I remember not that far back, whoever the moderator was said, no more political stuff on the thing. Okay, cool. Not a big deal. I don't need to get on there to be political.
Right. Right.
So recently, I'm fast forward, and I hadn't commented on there in a long time. I usually go in there and like something or whatever, like something that somebody says, or give us something of support. Congratulations. This, that. So recently, I saw a political post where they talked about I forgot what it was. It was Trump related.
Okay.
and no, I'm sorry, it wasn't. It was about a local politician who happened to be a Democrat, and they said something about that, he needs to resign. He's corrupt. He's did a whole bunch of different things, and I was like, oh, we care about corruption then? Now this is a group that, like, they don't like when I call them cult members, but this is a group that will go out of their way to show you, tell you, whatever, that Trump is innocent and everybody else is against him. Okay. And everybody's wrong except him. Right? Okay. So I said, we had a little conversation about that. And I was like, well, you guys have a guy who's, and I described him here, I said who's, been indicted. Yeah. I ain't gonna say umpteen. Was it
34, 36? Yes. It's in the 30s.
Yeah. And in one place was facing indictment in 3 other places. Yes. Was found responsible, that's how they say it in civil court, for a rape. Right.
Sexual assault, yes.
After many accusations. Yes. Right. It wasn't just like it was one. It was like, I think it was like 20 women. Yeah. And also was found to be a fraudster. Yes. In the tune of $485 million. Right.
And had to pay.
Yes.
His accuser.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yes. Because he defamed her.
Yes.
Right. So I'm looking at this like all this stuff here, and it's not like it's difficult stuff because you can read the
you can look all of these facts up. Insurrectionists don't get that.
Yeah. Oh God.
Twice impeached.
That's still coming up too. So they posted something where a local politician authorized somebody to get a payment because they was trying to carry some time over and it wasn't against it.
I saw that.
So I'm like, it's just an accusation. So the local GOP is saying that he shouldn't resign and he should drop out of the race for the Senate.
Right.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, first of all, y'all don't have a leg to stand on. So you care about corruption now for somebody who is not even being investigated about it, but you have somebody who's been convicted. Right? So,
and all of his cronies are being convicted.
Yes. Not only just convicted, they're convicted and telling.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm like, listen, and I'll say that, and everybody jumps on me. Right? It's me against the world. I feel like I'm Tupac. Right? So, and it's the same demographic. So I don't even care. It's like I'm gonna
You're gonna say
my receipts, as they say. Right?
Yes.
And all they can say is, you have Trump hate syndrome or whatever they call it now, right?
Wow.
Or they call it a kangaroo court. Or so somebody said.
But it can't be in a reverse.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So somebody said something about Kamala Harris, and I'm like, well, the thing was about. Not even about her, but they mentioned her, like, how she got her start.
By going to school and becoming educated.
I'm trying to say this, she
slept her way. I heard that several times, and I'm like, who did she sleep with?
The mayor of Los Angeles or San Francisco.
Okay.
Like, or whoever it was, but
they were dating.
And they'll question her and her intelligence. I'm like, oh,
right.
Because anybody can go to law school.
Yeah, right. Like it's hard.
And
yeah.
Anybody can, if you sleep with somebody, anybody can sleep with somebody and then be voted by the people twice, right? So I'm like, and they make no sense whatsoever.
And how many degrees does Trump have?
Exactly.
Okay. Just checking.
So they'll say, and getting back to that one, right? So they were saying, the thing that came up was somebody said DEI.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Right? And I said,
that's a big dog whistle.
And I said, whatever he said after that, I don't remember, but he said DEI and he said something else. That was an old timer.
Oh, yeah.
I said, well, hey, there's black officers in this group, right? Just let them know that, you guys getting too comfortable. And I know that's fine. You get comfortable, but do understand there's other people with different,
views
like you don't say something if that's homophobic.
Right.
Knowing that you have some people who may be,
right,
LGBTQ, whatever, right? So I'm just letting them know that, and it's like, listen, that's
they don't
questionable
care.
material.
They don't care.
Oh, you always bringing up the race card.
They don't care.
I'm like, dude, you're saying something that is offensive.
Right, to other races.
And when I talk about the education part, like if you're educated enough to know that when you talk about a black candidate or black anybody who's ascended to a position, and you first thing that comes out of your mouth is DEI or woke this.
Right.
How does woke get to be a bad word?
Yeah.
To be aware.
Yeah.
Somehow it's bad, right? Or what was the other one? Affirmative action.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that they're doing away with slowly but surely. Yeah, that's a road.
So systematically it changes and it's pushed by politics, right? So that anytime they want to dismiss or denigrate a person of color, they just attach woke.
Right.
DEI is the latest. That's the
that's the new dog whistle.
So you only got where you got because you're
a woman and black, and you fit all of these criteria for
right.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. I said that it was done, and I went back to it to see if they replied. Whatever, but it was conveniently deleted.
Oh wow!
So this is what they did. They deleted, right? So they'll post the political. And I don't post in there. I know everybody doesn't. I mean, most of them in there are not the same when it comes politically.
Right.
So I don't post stuff in there. But when they do, I'll post something in reply. Right. So I posted something that said it was a news article that said Arizona grand jury wanted to indict Trump.
Okay.
They wanted to indict Trump, but the prosecutor did not want him to because of a DOJ policy. Just because of a policy.
Right.
Not because he shouldn't be charged.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so you have Arizona, you should have more felony charges.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I think, Colorado, you have Michigan, you have some other state. But, I just posted. I didn't say it's all posted.
Right. Fake news.
Triggered.
Fake news.
They pulled up everything that they possibly can about why the Justice Department is not the Justice Department, sorry. The justice system.
Okay.
Is a bunch of kangaroo courts, and the president is using or weaponizing. They're always using these terms.
Right. Those dog whistles. Yeah.
Weaponizing the justice system. Well,
how?
This is a grand jury. This is a grand jury.
Right.
This is people, regular people, that come together.
Yep.
They hear the
information and then decide. That's right. Right.
In a court of law, in a jury that decides the fate of the person based on the evidence that's presented, right?
Yep.
So here we have police officers and ex-police officers that said, no.
Yeah, they don't believe
that's bad information. That's the evidence and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm like, the hypocrisy is strong in this one.
It is.
I felt like I was talking
like Yoda.
The hypocrisy is strong in this one. But and everything they said, I'm like, okay, so when they mentioned something that was given to somebody or whatever, and I'm like, or how somebody got their start. I'm like, do you understand how Trump got his start?
Right.
His father gave
him
money.
Right. He did not earn anything.
And not only that, if you want to go back to Papa.
Oh, Papa was...
Exactly. And you can go all the way back to Europe, where he came from and how he got here. So I'm like, it's the hypocrisy is strong, but I really think it's based on education. Like, they just
or just fear of, I don't want you to have more than I have. Yes. That's what it is. And especially if you're a woman or other race, you're not supposed to have more than I have.
Right.
That's all that is.
Or you got it because
because you're a woman, or because you're this race. You didn't earn anything, and she's more intelligent than any of these people that is talking. So it's
And the thing that kills me more than anything is that you're a police officer.
Right.
Or was a police officer.
You were supposed to serve and protect no matter who they are.
You made a career out of trusting those now kangaroo courts.
Mm-hmm.
But they're only kangaroo courts because it's involved with Trump. Just
right.
Trump.
Right.
and in different states.
Right.
All the states are wrong. All the courts are wrong. All the witnesses.
All the news is fake. All the elections are rigged.
All the co-conspirators.
Yeah, they're lying.
They're lying, but they're lying. Witness, right? But you yourself, you made a whole career within that system, right? You were supposed to have these tools called logic and reason. You know, getting reasonable suspicion, probable cause.
Right.
So everything that's been presented,
right,
is
the math ain't math.
Yes.
As the kids would say.
But only for one guy.
Right.
So when I called him, I said, that's Trump. I said, it's cult-like behavior. Well, we're not a cult. Well, who's a cult? Yes. That's what we call it. If everybody's wrong, and everybody's doing this,
you only believe what this person says.
Who's known to be a liar.
Yeah.
But no, he's not a liar because
he's not a liar.
And then one guy, he made a vow. We talking. He said, well, it's not about that. It's about, I'm a conservative. Because I told him, I said, I don't understand how a police officer would support a convicted felon, fraudster. I'm laying the line down, right? Over somebody who was a prosecutor, an attorney general, a senator, somebody who's been on the side of law and order.
In her whole career.
Her entire career.
Yes, her whole career.
How? And it comes down to one thing. I'm like, you're in a cult, and it's something else besides. I don't ever want to hear them say anything about we believe in law and order. We believe in. I don't want to hear that. You just disqualified yourself from that.
Yeah, because if you truly believe in it, then you know that he should be in jail.
Bingo. I don't want to hear nobody talk about any mayor, because that was one thing. I criticized them on because they kept calling him they called him what's his name, the guy from Baltimore City,
Brandon Scott. The DEI.
The DEI guy.
They
would call him the boy mayor. Now I wasn't. So I wasn't not really a fan of him anyway. But I said to them, he is a mayor. He's an elected official.
Right.
Give him respect. He's a grown man.
Yes.
Right. So, but if I say that, I'm playing a race card.
Okay.
I'm like, how's it? So anyway.
But saying boy about a black man is not.
That came from another.
Not triggering.
That came from another black guy.
That's still triggering.
Yeah,
it's still triggering, no matter who it comes from.
So today, or yesterday, the day before, maybe 3 days, running over. One guy gets on there and he says something about. Let me go back. A girl says, "Oh, didn't he get banned or?"
Talking about the man?
Me, from the group. Every time he comes on here, because I hadn't been on there for a while, I hadn't, but she said, you need to get banned permanently this time. I was like, guess what? I wasn't banned the first time. I just chose not to comment.
That is hilarious.
So it's like, you're going to ban me.
Going to kick you off. You're making trouble.
They're going to ban me because I put a factual news article. I didn't say, anything about the dude. I just said that, they wanted to charge him more.
Right.
But, whatever. So I'm causing problems because I posted that after somebody else posted a political article.
Right.
But they were okay because they agree with them. So.
Well, it depends on where you get your news. If it didn't come from Fox, then it's not real news. So you got to remember that.
And I thought that, and I'm like, I don't even know you, but if I do know her, because most of them that say they don't really put their real name.
Okay.
I always put my real name. I want you to know who I am.
Right. So if you again, I was saying the cowardice in this. I'm not sure that's right.
Bingo.
If you believe in what you're saying, why aren't you putting your real name to it?
So I'll give them on regular social media. That's what I always say. I'll call them out. I say you're a coward.
Right.
But here, just because of who they are, I understand that they don't want to put their full name on there because it's their job. I'll give them that. Because I don't know who the person is. I may know the person, but
But you don't, right.
So, the thing was, like he should be banned. I was like, oh, okay. What, do you want to ban me for posting a news article? A factual news article because you don't agree with it? You don't like what I say, but you're commenting on my post?
Right.
I didn't comment on your post.
Right.
You came to mine. Right?
And I'm supposed to be okay with all the things that you say.
Yes. Clearly, right? So another guy comes in who I know, I've been on for years since I came to the police department basically, and he says, Brian, you always playing the race card. I was like, race card? I don't think anybody mentioned race. I'm like, he says, you do this all the time and blah, 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 and, you're making a fool out of yourself. I said, you're making a fool out of yourself because nobody mentioned race at all, and I think you might even be on the wrong article.
What?
So, he's like, you're doing. I said, listen. I didn't even post a political.
Right.
I didn't say that, one party. I posted something that was factual, that goes on, that's about law, order, the justice system, and as a police group, right? So, I had mentioned something to another girl that, I think that same girl. I said, well, if you guys don't like what I say, and you why don't you just start a group that's for Trump cultists, or a group where you can say questionable things,
or just scroll past what you said and not pay any attention to it. That's the other option,
I ain't doing it.
You don't have to reply to everything.
I ain't doing it.
You
I
don't
reply to everything. If you say something questionable, I'm going to reply to it.
I got that part, but I'm saying, okay, right. You reply and they don't like it, you scroll past it. That's all.
I like them to reply.
Okay.
I want
you just want to fight. You just want to go back and forth with people.
It's not even. And I don't hurl insults or anything like that, right? So I'm like, I just want them to see the logic in what they're saying.
They're not saying.
They're not. So I said to the other guy, yeah, you're right. We need to find out who the administrators are and ban him permanently because I said to the guy, I said, well, go ahead. I said, this is how you find who the administrator is. And matter of fact, why don't you just make a post and say, make sure that everybody, like, we should, remove him from the group and tell them why.
Right.
And, show receipts, because I'll be glad to hear that. Like, and I could ask him, I said, why do you keep saying something about the black card? Then he goes on some other thing about people who are not qualified. I said, we're talking about the grand jury in Arizona.
Wow.
Right? Where did that come from? Left field, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, automatically, I feel that just because I comment on something, everything that they're frustrated about
comes out.
Mm-hmm. And they said we need to do that. And I'm like, I said, was it IDGAF? Was it IDGAF? What you say or how you feel, do what you need to do.
Right.
I don't care. You're not gonna. If you're gonna post something, I'm like, they don't see the hypocrisy in that. Like, you literally had posts with people posting political stuff, right? This is their problem. They saw that, they had no problems with it. Right. I mentioned some of the couple comments that somebody made within the post that was questionable. Like, I'm getting it questionable.
Right.
Just not to offend nobody. And I'm the problem. I said,
of course you are. You are the troublemaker.
Yeah.
You are the troublemaker. You don't agree with what they're saying, bingo. And that makes you the troublemaker.
Bingo. And I said that to him. And I was like, I'm still wondering where you get the race card thing. I'm still like, it says is it because maybe the Arizona grand jury was 51% black or something? I don't know. But why? I never mentioned black people. This, that.
Right. Right.
So, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? Let me say this. Officers of the law, whoever you may be, retired or active, it is hypocritical, very hypocritical, that you can't see the stuff that is going on right now. If you're going to say that everything that this one guy is doing and is being called out on with witnesses within his circle, intangible evidence, and most
they're
of them,
traitors.
Yeah, and some of them don't even know, have never even read the information.
Right.
I found that out. But you're going to work in a profession that's based on reasonable suspicion, based on probable cause, logic, reason.
Collecting evidence
and going to this court and relying on the court, right? Even yourself, if you go on a witness stand as a police officer,
right,
you want this court to rely on you as a credible witness to say whatever you say is correct because you're a police officer. You take an oath.
Yep.
But yet when everybody else does it, it is against this one guy, even though his own people turned against him, is a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
Like,
somebody's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but that's what they say to us, right? Like, you cannot possibly tell me there's no other thing outside of being, I'm a conservative when you support a guy who is a fraudster, that has said racist things in the past, not just once or twice. He's been in court.
He's still saying racist things.
He has exactly.
That hasn't changed.
Had a history of bigotry because remember he
didn't want to rent to black people.
He didn't want to rent to black people. We had Don Cheadle that was playing golf with him that said that he had said something racist to him. And Don Cheadle ain't the one out here protesting and doing all that, right? So you have a history of this, and you can see it on the video, whatever. And convicted felon.
Yes.
And
sex offender.
Probably more to come. A sex offender. And you're going to still support this guy?
Especially, let's talk about the morals. How many wives? 3 wives, 5 kids?
The first wife he cheated on with his second wife.
Right.
Cheated on the second wife with
the
his
third
wife.
Right.
Then cheated with a porn star.
On the last wife.
While she was pregnant.
Right.
And I told him, I said, this is one of my descriptions. I said, so you're going to compare all that, but I just said, in a guy who has the morals of a $2 crack whore.
Oh, no, you did not say that.
I said that.
He
has the morals of a $2 crack whore that is saying everything derogatory about every single group except for his own.
Right.
Right?
Oh, his own that is rich.
That is rich, yes.
And white and male.
That's what I'm saying. That's his own.
Rich,
white, and male.
Yeah, let's get that straight because it's not just
but you got to kiss
white
the ring
male.
too.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
You got to narcissist.
Yes.
You have to kiss the ring.
Yes.
So that's what my thing is. That, and I thought about it. I said, we had this thing about police-community relations and stuff like that and trusting the police. I've defended police countless amount of times.
Right.
I said, well, they're not racist. They're not this. They're not that. I know people. I've gone to lunch with them and this, that, whatever. So I've been defending them for a long time. But when it comes to this, I can't defend them.
Right.
I can't. Because it makes no sense. These guys will just go over out of their way, out in space, to find some lame excuse. And it's laughable. It's not even like, it's like, are you serious? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Everybody's against this one guy because, whatever. Oh, let me throw this in there too. Classified documents.
Oh, I forgot about the classified documents.
Yes. So it is no way you're going to tell me that, you're supporting this guy with all that there, and he's all innocent, whatever, just because he's a conservative.
And you know what the people I hear say, I vote my party. You can vote your party. You don't have to vote for him. You can vote for all the other things that's on the ballot. You don't necessarily have to vote for him.
My thing is this: when you have even if it was a Democrat, I'm a Democrat by political choice.
Right.
I don't agree with everything they say.
Absolutely not.
Right? But if they fielded a candidate that had his resume,
yeah,
I'm not voting for him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be vocal about. We don't know.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we can't have that.
You can't have somebody with that resume applying for the same job. The top spot.
Yeah.
You're the chief, the
CEO, CFO.
Right.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't qualify
at all.
You wouldn't be able to get a job as a police officer because you don't
You're
qualify.
A convicted felon.
You can't get a security clearance.
Nope.
Right? And can he vote in his own state?
Nope.
Okay, so all these things you can't do, and you're still going to support them. And I'm talking specifically to police officers, people in the law enforcement field. This is to you, nobody else but you. Okay? That is hypocritical, and there's nothing that you can say that is going to give you any more credibility if you support this guy. So you can never say anything about the criminal justice system. You can't say anything about any suspect, any felon. All the stuff that people like to talk about, they call them a POS or
right.
All that's out the window now because you supported this guy.
Yeah.
With all that was said,
you supported your own version of a POS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you used no type of common sense, no type of reason, no type of nothing, no logic.
I don't know.
And it's pathetic.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't say it was cult-like. I won't say that. I would say that I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say it's cult-like because I think they actually believe that bullshit that they say.
Oh, that's true.
It was like for me, like if I'm just gonna support my faith, like for example, if my mom or my dad did something wrong and somebody was accusing, I'm gonna stand by my people.
Right.
let's not call it you standing by. You have a family connection, whatever. And it depends on what they do.
Right.
Now, if it was my mom, I don't care what she did. Whatever. But this is the guy you don't know. He's not putting any money in your pocket.
That's the thing that I don't understand. That's the thing that I don't. People is just like, well, when Trump was in the White House, this happened and that happened. And I'm like, no, none of that happened.
And that's why I said education is the key.
Wait a minute. We got stimulus checks. That wasn't his doing.
Because one, he bungled.
Right. the COVID. Right. I was like, no.
Yeah. You didn't listen to he didn't listen to his own people when it came to the start of the handling of the pandemic, right? And what happened. So not to keep beating up on Trump, because it's really not about Trump. It's about the people who
support him
vehemently supporting him.
Yes.
That's cult-like. That is cult. And there's nothing you can tell me that's not going to convince me that you're not being a cultist. You're not being part of a cult when it comes to this guy. Because you cannot dismiss everything out there, all the overwhelming evidence, all the common sense, all the audio, the video, everything that he said. But he didn't really say that. He didn't.
That's not what he meant.
Right,
that's what they say. That's not what he meant.
If that applies to you, you're in a cult, and you really need your whole credibility is gone. So that's what you call it. Is that my soapbox?
That is your soapbox. That is your soapbox for today.
We're gonna call this episode
Psycho's Soapbox.
Yeah, no, let's be more specific. Police hypocrisy.
Okay. All right now.
This is a direct. I don't want to say it's an attack. It's not really an attack. I don't have nothing against y'all to be personally.
It didn't sound like it.
It's funny. I talk, but I don't. Somebody said I hate Trump. I'm like, I don't even hate Trump. I said, there's nobody I hate.
Right.
If you didn't do any harm to my family, I don't hate you.
Right.
I really don't.
Right.
We can disagree. I disagree with some of my closest friends.
Absolutely.
I don't hate you, but I don't respect your decisions. I don't respect how you think. I may not give you credit or trust that you have the faculties to make certain decisions anymore.
Right.
That's just it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. We'll forget our topic for this, but you guys, if you want to comment,
he is going to troll you.
If you want to comment, I'm saying just I'm asking you nicely, come with receipts, because I will. You can go to our website at www.hottopix with an X. That's not a CS. Hot Topix with an X. Podcast.com. Okay. And you can click on there. It's a thing on there that says forum. You can choose a topic and you can say what you want. You can call me whatever, and I'll gladly respond.
And I think we were going to read some of those reviews if we get them next week. Yes, we will read some of those.
So, and if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'm open to hear any different viewpoints. I'm open. So that's going to be it. We need a word of the day. Hypocrisy.
Yeah, there you go. That's going to be the word of the day, hypocrisy.
So yes, today's word of the day is hypocrisy. And even if you spell it wrong, we'll count it.
Look, you got a dictionary on your phone. Don't be spelling nothing wrong.
Hypocrisy. Okay.
That's pretty much how you spell it.
Yeah. So send it in at the end of the month, and if you get all the words, like we said, all the keywords, you'll be eligible to win our surprise of the month. Last month we didn't have a winner. Somebody sent in the words, but every podcast we're going to talk about the word of the day and some good stuff out there. Anything else?
No.
You good?
We good. We are good.
Stay tuned, subscribe, and because we have those episodes coming up, and I think they're going to be interesting. Something that you guys will maybe enjoy, will be disgusted about.
Thank you, family, for listening to the latest episode of Hot Topics. As usual, listen, like, share, subscribe. Ta.